You with the one and only boxing guru, aka Wilder Hater. For this episode of Under the Microscope, we're gonna focus in on last week's big matchup between TeofimO versus LomO. Is boxing worth betting on? From the big standpoint, if you look at that fight carefully, the fight only goes 12 rounds. For the first 6 rounds, LomO danced in circles, never was aggressive. If you know the science of boxing, the shorter man has to be the aggressor. He has to use movement against the bigger guy and then gets in, score punches. He can't stay on the outside. So it made me wonder and come up with this video. Is boxing really worth betting on? Because for the big people who betted on Lomachenko, who played thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on the favorite, which he was supposed to win. And he showed you from round 12 to 7 that he could win. He started busting up TeofimO, landing effective shot. TeofimO was hitting air, missing. So is boxing worth betting on? Because you have to rewatch the fight carefully. The first 6 rounds, LomO barely threw 3 punches. And then the ESPN commentators, Andre Ward, Tim Bradley, kept saying, oh, he's a slow starter. Why would you be a slow starter and you have 4 belts and undisputed title on the line, and this would solidify your greatness, and you could have had another mega fight with Devin Haney? So is boxing really worth betting on? Because if you give away 6 rounds, that means it's a tie or you got to get knockdowns. And Lomachenko is a volume puncher. He's not a one punch knockdown person. So is boxing really worth betting on? Because like I said, if you look at the fight carefully, it made me think that they made a concession somewhere, because why would Lomachenko not attack TeofimO? Because some people would say his power and all this, he's the bigger, stronger fighter, but round 7 through 12 showed me he wasn't. And plus, Vasyl Lomachenko had fought over like 300, 400 fighters. Why would you be scared of a person? If you fought that many fights, you know the art of boxing. You know the art of defense, blocking punches, protecting yourself at all times. So is boxing really worth betting on? You have to really ask yourself, even though some casual fans win here and there, but if you try to do this on a regular basis like Saturday, and bet with the favorite that was guaranteed money, and like I said, for Vasyl Lomachenko to run for 6 of the first 6 rounds and not really attack, or to make the fight competitive, or to even win a couple of rounds, so when he did come on in the later rounds, it would have been a victory for him, and it would have been a victory for the people who betted on him, the high rollers who put up double the money to get back a substantial amount with betting with Lomachenko. So is boxing really worth betting on? When you watch fights like this, it makes you think. It makes me think, no, boxing is not, because he made my IQ look bad. And then a lot of casual fans would not recognize that TeofimO should have lost that fight, because they're going to say, well, he controlled, he was the bigger guy, he couldn't get past his jab, he was scared. They used all these excuses. But like I said, Lomachenko should have went out on his shield. When you get to this level of boxing, you should know how to protect yourself, and you should know how to fight a bigger guy. So that's why I do not bet personally on boxing, because I'm very frustrated because of the last week of the fight between TeofimO and LomO. This was horrible. You know, they had the whole world watching this fight, anticipating this fight. Even Sean Porter and Kenny Porter said it. The game plan for the first 6 rounds was horrible. So it made me look and think that this fight could have been staged and fixed to let the takeover, and then Vasily, he kept saying he wanted to go down to 130. So now for him to go back down to 130 after this performance, I probably won't even watch another one of his fights, because, like I said, I had believed the hype, and I know he can fight because of what I've seen before. But for him to pull this last Saturday, not really being aggressive against a big guy, you was quicker than him, you was hitting him with 4 or 5 punch combinations, and this guy missing air. missing uppercuts. You were supposed to dig to the body and over the top. You showed you could bust him up. You had his eye, not the one that from the head, but the other eye swelling and stuff. You never attacked his body. A shorter guy has to attack the bigger guy's body, then go to the head. These is basic fundamentals that he did not use because that would have been very effective in his victory against Teofimo. So is boxing, you got to ask yourself, is boxing really worth betting on a consistent basis? No, it's not, because like I said, you never know when they under the same banner as Top Rank what's really going on. Because Vasily didn't fight like Vasily was supposed to. He didn't look like Vasily. He didn't look like the Matrix. He didn't do none of that. But until the second half of the fight. But my point, this is the boxing guru, a.k.a. Wilder Hater. I want to ask you, is boxing really worth betting on?